Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Raven and welcome back to my channel. Now, for those of you who are not aware, the dev stream was last night. Not really much was said that was interesting in the whole dev stream. There's like a tournament going on and some other things, but overall there's nothing that important compared to what we've had in previous dev streams. So I'm sure you can look online and find someone who's going to cover the whole thing, or really just go onto the forums and you can find the whole dev stream recap there for yourself. But there was one thing that was really interesting and has sort of sparked a massive explosion of debates and arguments all over the forums and Reddit, and that is the fact that Ubisoft was talking about in the next patch possibly putting in a penalty for people who quit and leave games. Now, of course, everyone is going to be on either one side or the other when it comes to this. Now, I've seen a whole bunch of arguments and debates, like I said, that have exploded all over the forums. This has become bigger than I thought it was going to be, to be honest. It's quite insane seeing some of the arguments coming back and forth. Most of it is just bullshit, let's be honest. It's just people going, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. But there are some valid points being raised in between all the insults and salt being thrown all over the place. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk to you about the two sides that I've been seeing, and I'm going to give you my opinion on them as well. So first of all, you have the people who think this is 100% a good thing for the game. Of course, they want anyone who quits games and leaves early to be punished. They want them to have a ban. They want them to have a couple-day ban, a-day ban, whatever, but they want it to escalate as people leave more games because they don't want people leaving games. Because of course, when someone leaves a game, it goes to that, like, you know, circle of death sort of thing where it sort of tries to find a new host. People get booted and it just fucks up the whole thing, because most of the times while it's trying to find a new host, other people end up getting disconnected and eventually the game ends up crashing. And of course, if the game doesn't crash, it tries to throw in brand new people and it just ends up being a clusterfuck, all because one person rage quit. So you have some people on one side saying good fucking riddance, if you rage quit, fuck you, you're cancer to the game and you deserve to be punished for it. And they're hoping that this will mean that people will stop rage quitting, because of course they will get their bans, so on and so forth, and they'll have to stay in the game regardless of whether they're going to win or lose. So that is one side. They're completely on the fuck you guys train if you leave games. But then there is the other side of this argument. Now, there are the people out there who are just like, I should be allowed to leave games if I don't like the fact that everyone's ganking, if I don't like the fact that people are being toxic assholes, or if I don't like the fact that, you know, I'm just flat out losing and there is no chance we can possibly win this game because of the fact that my team is shit. Okay, so there are people out there on the other side of the argument who are saying that. They're like, I have the right to leave this game, I paid my money for it. If I don't want to play through a game, I should not be forced to sit there till the end of the game to see it through. So those are the two sides of the arguments right now, okay? And now here's where I come into it. I have to first stipulate that I'm kind of not on either side. I don't care really. At this point, with all the shit that's going on with For Honor, all the bugs, all that sort of stuff, the fact that I personally, if I'm not working towards a certain, like, you know, gear set or a certain rank, okay, I don't care what happens. If I'm playing the game, I'm generally shooting for a specific thing, and that's the only thing I tend to care about. Now, right now, there is no rank in the game, obviously, for very fucking good reasons. So the one thing that I'm shooting for is just to rep out my Centurion right now and get gear. So whether I win or lose a game, to me personally, does not faze me whatsoever. I could lose 40 games in a row, don't care, okay? All I care about is getting that loot and that experience at the end, and of course finishing orders to help boost up my Centurion faster. That's all I care about, okay? But I am on the side of, it is really fucking annoying when someone leaves the game, because the amount of times when I'm just, once again, I don't care about the end result of the game, I just want to finish it. But of course, people leave, the circle happens, people get disconnected, eventually the game crashes. That fucks me over because I don't get my gear and stuff at the end of the match. So I can see where that side is coming from, but at the same time, because I'm completely impartial to this whole thing, I saw someone bring up a really good point on the other side when it comes to that this whole quit feature is a stupid idea and is not going to work. Now, this guy brought up a valid point, okay, and that valid point is that Ubisoft has apparently said, they've said that they have a way to detect whether someone manually quits the game or if they're disconnected, because obviously this game has really shit peer-to-peer connection and all that crap, and I get booted from games even though my connection is perfectly fine, because once again, the population is down so low, I'm getting paired with people all over the fucking place, and then of course, the connections are bad on their end, it's not working between us, someone gets booted, then someone gets booted, and I get booted. Not my fault. So if I start getting flagged for this whole quitting system, you better fucking believe it, I'm going to be really fucking pissed. But Ubisoft has assured us that they have a way to detect people who get disconnected and not get a ban or a punishment, and then they have people who obviously manually quit the game because they're losing or whatever those other reasons are, and those people are going to be banned or punished. But this guy, like I said, brought up a really interesting point, and his point was that people who are going to leave the game are going to leave the game regardless of what punishment you put on them. So they're going to find ways to leave the game, whether that be, oops, my internet went out because they unplugged it, or oops, my router turned off, oh, I lost power to my house because I literally walked outside and flicked the switch and the entire house went dead. Or if people Alt F4, or if people like, you know, just manually turn their computer off. He said, and it makes sense, if someone wants to quit a game and they know that if they hit the quit game button, they're going to get punished for it, but they're not going to get punished if they disconnect, then of course people are going to start disconnecting a whole lot more than they were before. Now this is a major problem, okay, because like I said, if people start disconnecting themselves in order to get around this penalty, then Ubisoft really has only one option in order to enforce this penalty, and that is, if you leave a game whatsoever, whether it's disconnected, whether it's you quit, whether it's you rage quit, whatever the scenario is, you get punished. That's the only way they can get around this, okay? But of course, if they start doing that, then everyone's going to be punished because their servers and their peer-to-peer connection are fucking shit, and of course the population is so low now that people, like I said, are getting paired all over the fucking world, and it's just not working because my connection here might be fine when I'm versing other Aussies. It's perfect, okay? Even if you go to, like, you know, places around where I am, but as soon as you start pairing me with people from Europe and so on and so forth, all of a sudden it's like red, yellow barring, and it gets a bit weird, which will mean if they want to put that flat punishment on anyone who disconnects, which is the only way they're going to properly enforce this, let's be realistic here, that's the only way they're going to enforce this without people just, you know, unplugging their modems and shit. If they properly want to enforce it, that's what they're going to need to do. But of course, like I just said, that's going to fuck over me and everyone else who I see disconnecting. Per game, I see at least like 5 to 6 people throughout the game disconnect, and that's if the game doesn't crash because of it. Now of course, I have no way to tell how much of that is rage quitters. Yes, I have, you know, fucked some people up at Centurion recently. They've spammed me in the, like, you know, chat going, fuck you, you piece of shit, you're playing Centurion, da da da, and then they leave. Of course, that's a rage quit. But those so far, at least in my experience, are few and far between compared to just pure disconnects. Now, in my personal opinion, this whole quit system, they need to find a realistic way to do this after they fix their fucking peer-to-peer connections and put in dedicated fucking servers, okay? Simply because their servers and their connection issues and all this peer-to-peer bullshit is way too fucked right now. People are getting disconnected far too much. What they need to do is they need to put this rage quit punishment system in after they put in dedicated servers, which I know is never going to happen because Ubisoft is never going to spend the money for it. They've already, you know, realized that the game's tanked. They've already realized that the game's in trouble and the numbers are low. It's going to cost them way more money to put in dedicated servers than they're going to get back, basically. So they know this. It's from a business standpoint, makes perfect sense. I get that. They should have had him in from the start. That's another debate for another time. But realistically, they can't put in this system and punish people for quitting without obviously making it so you can't just, you know, unplug your own modem and get away with it. But of course, they can't do anything like that because of the fact that everyone disconnects left, right, and center. It's impossible to put in a solid system right now, considering people are just disconnecting all over the place. So if rage quitters all of a sudden start unplugging their internet, it's not going to look out of the ordinary because you're not going to be able to differentiate that from a normal disconnect, considering disconnects happen all the fucking time. And I think they're just going to go ahead with it anyway, okay? And of course, like I said, it's going to cause lots of problems, or it's not going to fix the problem at all because people are just going to start unplugging their internet. But if they're going to put something like this in properly, they need to fix the whole server issues, peer-to-peer issues first, okay? They need to make sure that people aren't disconnecting from the game anymore. My opinion is fix the peer-to-peer system, fix the connection, then put in a rage quitter punishment system after you've sorted your shit out. Don't go adding to the pile of shit by putting in more systems that are just going to make it worse. But I really want to hear from all of you guys what side you were on when it comes to this great debate that sparked over the whole punishment of people who rage quit. Are you on the side of I should be able to rage quit no matter what because I pay for the game, I don't like toxicity, I don't like ganking, all that sort of stuff? Or are you on the other side of, you know what, if you're going to basically quit a game, you should go fuck yourself and you should be punished regardless because you fuck everyone else over, because as soon as you leave the game, people start disconnecting, so on and so forth? Or are you in the middle and you're with me and sort of thinking, you know what, it makes sense to, you know, fix the base game first before you go adding certain features onto the game that don't really work because you don't have a stable base to begin with? I really want to hear from you guys. Make sure you leave a comment down below and please let me know your thoughts on this. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.